Monsoon and Heenan are always a win.
What about the unveiling of Narcissus? Who cares?
The who cares cut off. I love Monsoon's comedy style. Damn, I said it on the first Raw, but the Steiners are stupidly over for a struggling WWF. Aw, poor Finn getting cut off and running away.
He got the short end of the stick. He got the worst end of the fight. You're gonna get the short end of the stick if you don't stop.
Seriously, I know that some people do not like Monsoon and Heenan's bickering, but I love it. This is so refreshing compared to Bartlett. Goodness, there's a lot of time wasting at the beginning of this match. But hey, here's finally the first power move, and the crowd ate it up. Sometimes Mike Enos has some good moves, and sometimes you also see the scoop power slam and remember that this is like one of the best moves in wrestling. Oh god, that was close to being disastrous. Scott kind of undershot that belly-to-belly overhead suplex. Either that or there wasn't enough lift help too. Can't give anyone the blame, but still, professionals, no one was hurt. This is quite a standard match. Some power moves, the tag gets delayed as much as possible for the Steiners, and then it goes to the finishing sequence with the hot tag.
Oh, look at that!
Jesus, he got folded. Physically, the Frankensteiner truly makes no sense. The hunk of meat that is Scott Steiner should not physically do this. Also, my god, the Beverlys actually took some bad moves here tonight. That looked straight on the dome. The replay is even more impressive in slow motion. Wow. How crazy is it that the barbershop segment was over 1 year old at that point already? That's how long it took for this to be paid off. But hey, it's getting paid off. Thanks, personal issues from both. You know how you can hear that the angle worked? Because people are actually confused about Sherry's allegiance. They don't know which way it's gonna go.
Body Jannetty made a lot of doctors look foolish that he would never ever race the squared circle.
That's the cover-up for his firing. They're just saying he was injured. Thank God the internet wasn't a thing back then, really, eh? HBK with his entrance theatrics. They're already here. Honestly, it's already been a while as a solo star now, and so he already really refined how he is as a solo act. It's really nice to see with a 27-year-old wrestler. He was already 27. A win for the fact that this is a heated feud, even through the time people had to wait for that one. Haha, here's the HBK bumping in the 90s. It's not SummerSlam 05, but it's second.
Calling me a liar? Yes.
I'm sorry, I love his delivery. Monsoon, you're good. Damn. I don't know if the crowd is real or not. I hope it is, because if so, that's a nice enough noise. I have to shout out Joey Morella too, the referee for this match. This man's a win. He's been there forever, until his unfortunate passing in a car accident next year in 1994. And the vertical bump from Michaels, lovely. Well, the arm has magically healed, but hey, let's say it's because of adrenaline.
Get it once more. Oh, look at this. Oh.
Save bump. Good. Good slap, great crowd reaction. And from Heenan too.
No, whose side? Sherry's on, don't we?
Oh, good kick out from Michaels. Oh, damn, nice form on that super kick from Jannetty. I think we're quick to disregard Jannetty's quality in the ring sometimes because, well, Michaels exists. Well, Sherry had to be involved anyway, right? At least the shoe didn't exactly finish the match. I'm okay with that finish. Not like it's a feud ender. And that's the sweet chin music, although a bit rough, and the bump is too much. IC Champion retains, though. That's a win when it's HBK. And here's how you keep the feud going. Just a small backstage brawl, even if these two have been feuding for too long. Still, it's a feud, something the WWF didn't have many of at that time, if any. Giving a win to Hard Times. And to those stick moves too. This is a bit of a nothing match that serves to fill in time between both title matches. I get it. And at least they're trying to make Bam Bam look good. Until Vince doesn't care about him again. I love when wrestlers talk when taking a pin. You can see Bossman saying something as he takes the pin. I want to know every time what they say.
The Rocket Owen Hart, who literally got creamed.
What the fuck? And here is the first WWF title match we have on this series. And honestly, I could have chosen a whole lot worse to start off with. Wow, Bret was insanely over. The manliest man in pink. Also, Stu Hart. You know, I almost want to give Scott Hall always a win status. He's one of the most memorable personalities of the 90s, both as Razor and as an outsider afterwards. We'll think about it. The toothpick on the kid. I like that. It's heat. And here it is. Gotta talk about it. The methodical style of Bret Hart. Somehow, it always got a big pop, which shows that wrestling is actually something people can appreciate when it's integral to the person's character. He makes every move have weight and importance. He doesn't need anything fancy, just a whole lot of precision and patience about working on a single area. That's also what makes it hard to judge a Bret Hart match at times. You can tell though, whenever Bret worked with someone from the Clique, it always worked out with at least a good match. With this match here, once again, nothing fancy, just a whole lot of grounded offense, and a whole lot of selling from one or the other, and somehow it just works. Follow a slam from Razor, because it's one of his big moves and always nice to see. Oh, the best bump on the turnbuckle ever. He always took those full force, and you could always hear the ring buckle. I love it. What I can say for this match is that the structure is very simple, but it works because of Razor being good in the ring. It takes two to tango, as you say. It's not like the win for Bret was ever in doubt. Razor was here for too short a time to actually be champion. There are always some nice little moves though, like this one from Bret. The jelly legs. God, Razor's a good seller. Nice little fake out on the sharpshooter. Nice. Again, nothing too fancy, but it's nice and executed with precision. Sometimes a move blocked from the air doesn't make sense. Not here, as the move works perfectly. Again, all perfect execution from Bret. Earl is out here like, oh, what is that? Oh, a pin! And yes, another cool transition into the sharpshooter. Bret loves those. First Davey and now Scott. It's a bit unceremonious as an ending, but I like it. This makes the sharpshooter insanely legitimate and protected. I will give more credit to this title defense for one stupidly simple thing. This is a defense between two people that the WWF would never push in the main event even just 2 years ago. The steroid scandals changed a whole lot of things. Here, take 3 wins. And here is the antithesis of that sentiment now with Luger. Look, take away the narcissist thing and sure, Lex Luger. Would be nice if this didn't take like 6 minutes just to see someone flex muscles. Still a win for Luger. This is goofy. I'm winning it because of kids that may like this, but... No, I can't win this because... What am I talking about? Everyone in the audience is dumbfounded because of just how stupid this is. One massive win for the fact that they finally figured out that the Rumble should have the price of the title match at Mania. Ric Flair, number 1 after number 3 last year. What a twist of fate, eh? Kudos for Backlund to get back to relevancy age 43. Even if Flair's 44 at that time. I'll start by talking about the match as a whole and say this is quite uneventful. 2 things I like, Perfect and Flair, and then Savage before, well, you'll see. Oh, that was a very quick elimination. Seriously though, this match is a clear downgrade from last year's Rumble. Yes, the stakes were different and so were the stars involved, but still there really isn't any excitement for the first 45 minutes. Of course, last year was all about Flair and the fact it wasn't fair to Flair. This year Flair is 100% an afterthought because he would leave soon. I guess at least he's here for continuity's sake. This is a half-hearted win. Oh hey, it's Lawler. He was already in the WWF? I didn't even know that. I thought he came in February. This guy was still here and with a spot in the Rumble. I mean, would be nice if he added a bit of action, but... well, he tries. Flair begging. Genichiro Tenryu, a legend. Complete unknown here. Well, we had a fake Flair flop last week, but this time, here's the real thing. I want to say kudos to Flair for actually still being in that match for over 20 minutes. And here he is. This is the greatest moment of that Rumble. The Flair versus Perfect rivalry. Flair top rope bump. And that's the big elimination of the match. He said the thing! Coco tried to give a bit of excitement. A bit. I don't know, but it feels like they have a directive to not do flashy stuff. Oh, that was one hell of a bump from Lawler. And then for some reason that already happens. Perfect should have been the thread kept in the match for a long time. Instead, 10 minutes and gone. Oh well, I guess it's some heat to Lawler. Let's look at the positive. Yeah guys, it's Taker. How great. Oh boy, bad bump to take. Samu jumped a bit too early on that one. But still, that looked gnarly. They're building Undertaker as the big badass of the match. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Vince McMahon's creativity. 5 wins away. The stupidest thing, just... okay. So you want to make the Undertaker feud against Giant Gonzalez. He's not named here, I know, but fuck it. And so, the quickest way to try and make an impact, while trying to take yourself out of a booking hole that doesn't exist and that you alone created, is this. Good lord. You know what could have been better? Giving legitimacy to Yokozuna by making him eliminate Undertaker clean. Oh shit, even after Gonzalez attacks. That could work too. Not this. Alright, at least I'll give a win for the pop on Taker's rise. People were quite naive at that time. At that point, the unfortunate truth is that there was only one potential winner of the Rumble now, and so this feels like a drag until the end. This is the Rumble 2015 problem, but not as pronounced because the crowd doesn't know about it as we did in 2015, because this wasn't as much of a smarky crowd. He's still not here. At least I guess our long-standing guy is still here as Backlund. You can follow him throughout, and at least it's a bit interesting. The crowd even gets behind him. They think Hulk Hogan will bail them out. Guys, this is the first Rumble, believe it or not, without any involvement from Hulk Hogan. Oh hey, Martel goes to Santana first. They remember Strikeforce, I guess. Seriously, they're really behind Backlund now. Alright, here he is, Yokozuna. Okay. This is a second take because I was quite unfair to Yoko saying that he couldn't move well. At this time though, he was an intimidating presence, and actually still quite fair in the ring. It's also, don't forget, a new star made. Overall then, I'm quite okay with such a choice being made. The execution could have been better, but that is not Yoko's fault. There is a real Yokozuna in there, but it's not the one touted as Japanese. Tenta is legit. Aww, Owen was such an afterthought here. Here is what they thought would actually be enough to legitimize Yokozuna. It didn't really work, but at least it was an effort to try and do it. Repo should have come down to the ring with Savage's hat. That would have been a win for continuity. It's just a win for the fact that Darso has a goofy rundown. The giant against everyone spot makes no sense here to see 6 people stopping everything, especially Martel and Owen. They were literally fighting in the opposite corner. Don't think about continuity, it's just nice to build up Yokozuna as that unstoppable force, I guess. Holy, what a pop! Yeah, Macho should have won this match. Boy, what could have been. Look at how spent Yokozuna already looks. He tries to hide it at least, that doesn't work though. Oh, nice dropkick from Owen. Oh, bad fall from Owen too though. Final 4. Don't really know what to think about it, but it's a Final 4, right? What an exaggerated fall. Don't worry though, there's worse to come. Did you know Yokozuna doesn't speak Japanese and literally only says some Samoan? Yeah, it's actually pretty funny for Japanese speakers who think they know what he's saying. The only move Yoko can do, the thrust kick. Sorry, I'm being an ass. He also has that good belly-to-belly. It's really good, actually. This is probably the dumbest finish in Rumble history. This was probably punishment for Savage because of, well, last year's fumble with going over the top rope. The goofiness of the move is a win, but 3 wins off for the fact that this is Savage. One of the best of all time. Fuck that. One last win for the moment where both champion and challenger meet backstage. That's a nice little thing at least before the end. What a downer. The event was actually correct until the Rumble. The Rumble did kind of ruin the mood because of some very dumb decisions with incredibly bad booking in places. This one felt like it had an insane amount of meddling in it by Vince to try and get a few things over. The Perfect vs. Flair angle worked. Yokozuna and Gonzalez though... Yoko, your mileage may vary, but we can all agree that Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker is not really a feud anyone would want to see at any time. Vince really had a fascination with big guys against Taker. I will still give a good point to both title matches. While not amazing, they both serve their purpose and either advance their story or push an agenda forward. Basically, there's purpose. It's also nice to finally have the Rumble give the automatic title shot at Mania. This is probably the nicest addition that this year's Rumble has given us. That and a good performance from Backlund, who really got the crowd with him by the end of that show. Overall then, this is quite an uneven show. I will also give ratings to the pay-per-view, but rank them separately from Raw. And my rating for this Royal Rumble 1993 is a 4 out of 10. Very average, but I mean it's about on par with what you'd expect from the era. And so next week, we are back for the 3rd episode of Raw, with a very long and good match coming between Flair and Perfect. Stay tuned and see you then.